welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Now today we're going to be reviewing a Heimdallr watch. Don't worry, it's not one of the newer ones. It's actually one of the last watches from the trio that was sent in by the subscriber Craig Rodgers. Now I need to give his watches back, so I need to get all these reviews done before I look at any of the watches. So let's open the box. Now we're very familiar with what Heimdallr give us, so we don't need to talk about the box at all. And this is the beast, the one and only 1km tuna by Heimdallr. Now of course it makes sense for me to review this. I've reviewed that many tunas on my channel that I think I could open a sushi restaurant. Now that we've got the dry jokes out the way, let's have a closer look at this absolute monstrosity, beast of a watch, the sub sinker itself, the 1km tuna by Heimdallr. Now I've looked at a lot of tunas, as I mentioned. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the comment section, that Heimdallr were the first ones to come out with a 1km variation. Now it's worth mentioning that there are as many actual Seiko tuna variants as they are the variants from AliExpress and China and all the homages. Right, if you look at Seiko's range, I can't actually keep up. I don't know how many they are. There's just so many tunas, excluding the baby tuna. So of course that's why we've got so many variants coming out from China and from AliExpress in terms of the homage game. Heimdallr have homaged somewhere in between the SBBN 031, the Professional Marine Master 300, also the SBBN 029, which is the 1km version. And I mentioned that because if you look at the dial in their hands, that is what you'll find on those watches. So the dial itself has not applied indices, but it's got that applied layered loom, which gives the effect of 3D hour markers. I actually do really like this dial. I like the pointed down arrow and those curved batons at the 3, 6, 9 and 12. Now what you'll notice with this dial, that the date window is actually past the 4 p.m. location. It's roughly around, I'd say, I don't know, 4:30, 4:50. And what that does though, it allows you to see all the hour markers in their completeness. And you've also got these lovely hands that you find on the aforementioned Seiko models. You've got the arrow and the sword style minute hand and that lovely seconds hand. Now pay close attention to the seconds hand and look how far it does actually stretch. It's almost scraping that chapter ring. Aside from the dial, you've got that Heimdallr applied logo, that shredded shark at 12 o'clock, and you've got the printed text just above the 6. Now one thing that Heimdallr has really nailed, and I think they have one of the best logos in the business across China, and you know what, maybe it was a lucky accident, whatever it was, it's working out for them fantastically. Let's look at the specifications. So you've got a double dome sapphire crystal with mild AR coating, because even though there's glare right here, and that's due to the actual double dome, not the actual AR coating, because you can't see that blue glare. Now you've also got a NH35 Seiko Epson movement, which is a 24 joule movement with hack and wide function, and it beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. Yes, we're very used to that movement. Very reliable and robust movement. Now you've got a stainless steel, I believe, insert. You've got a 120 click bezel, full stainless steel. It's full stainless steel construction throughout. It's a monoblock case, so there's no case back opening, but you do have this sand blasted shroud. It does really suit the watch case. Here's a close-up of the dial before anyone loses their mind in the comment section below. You know, that super high dome is very reflective, therefore I'm getting a lot of glare. So just for the benefit of you viewers, so you can actually see the detail, giving you this really nice close-up. Now, my personal experience with the Heimdallr, I have taken a few of the watches apart. They do have exceptional dials. Now, just look at the printing on that chapter ring, the printing on the dial. It's actually of a very high quality, I'd say up to OEM. It's one of the better dials amongst a lot of the Chinese homages out there. And that's when you look at the details of the handsets used, the actual finishing on the dial. Although this is a matte sort of powder coat finish, which is quite easy to do, but just look how crisp and clear the lines are. Look how well the loom has been applied as well. And you know, with these Heimdallrs, they are absolute loom monsters. This is Hadouken level Kamehameha level super C3 luminova. Now I am exaggerating slightly, but just look how super stupid bright that lume is. Heimdallr do have some of the best lume. I think the only other watch that might outweigh the lume is maybe the Chronos, that LM bronze diver. But consistently Heimdallr produce amazing levels of luminosity. And of course, I've had these watches and the longevity on this lume is absolutely fantastic as well. I just don't have the patience to leave my phone running to record, you know, over 7 hours. But I can tell you just how brightly this burns, and just through anecdotal experience, that this lume is very long lasting and indeed very bright. Okay, let's check the dimensions out. So the diameter, looking at a dial diameter of around 47 millimeters, a thickness of 15.5, and a log to log which is around the same as the diameter. So let's get it right, about 48. So very substantial watch, but of course you'd expect nothing less because it is a homage to a 1 kilometer tuna. Looking closer at the bezel insert, I was initially unsure what it is. I know it's stainless steel, but you know, I can't really see much brushing on it, but what you can see is this lovely pearlescent sort of finish. I really do like this. I prefer this over the ceramic bezel inserts. And what you've got is these really well applied markers around the bezel insert, so they almost look to be like enamel filled in markers. And you've got that dive style minute increments all the way to 15. And look at the pip as well, subset. Usually Heimdallr have a protruding pip, but they haven't done so on this one. So the bezel insert is exceptional on this watch. I think it's perfect for the watch it is. Now the more I look at it, you know what, it is done to a very high level indeed. So it's a 120 click bezel. Let's have a look, but before I go there, just look at the design, and you can see the scalloping on the bezel is similar that you see on watches like the Submariner. Very nice clicks. You know, somebody did say in one of my community posts I did that I should do ASMR bezel recording. So let's see if you can listen to this. That's perfect. You know, it's got the right amount of tension, right amount of friction, great feel, great sound. Grip is awesome. Now what I've found difficulty in with these tuna shrouds is that you can't really grip them, but the way this shroud is made, very easy to grip. Heimdallr are not known for consistent bezel actions across the different models. Some have been really poor, but on the majority of it, they're just, I'd say, around average. But this one is actually above average. If anything, it's, like I just said, perfect. And it looks solid, robust. You know, it's got that real tool-like feel to it, no doubt. Now let's move on to the actual case, the shroud. If you turn it around, you've got circular brushing, you've got the Heimdallr logo with some information, sapphire crystal, automatic, water resistance, etc. And of course that shark logo. Now, screw down crown also, of course. Good action, buttery smooth. Date change. Now let's see how well the date is aligned. The date lines up pretty well. Hack it, and there we go. Everything works as it should. Now one of the things when I did the unboxing on this, and it stood out like a sore thumb, no pun intended, is this right here. How in the world is anybody going to wear this? So let me show you what I mean. Wrist check, I'm wearing the Vario Empire. You will see a review of this soon if you haven't done so already. So this actually made me laugh out loud while I was wearing this. I would never wear it outside. Right, I mean, just look at that. Now I think, I don't know, maybe guys with bigger wrists, it might suit them, but with my, you know, petite wrist, it doesn't even sit down. A 6.5 inch wrist, massive oversight. I know you're trying to homage a watch here, but you've got to look at wearability as well. You know, you can't wear this. Look at that, it looks like a little fish tank on my wrist. But let's see if we can remedy that. So bear with while I get something. Now, I've opted to go for this really lovely, super soft, like amazing straps, tropical straps, you know, FKM rubber, which I happen to sell on my eBay page. Yeah, feel free to check that out. I'll leave the link in the description. Some very subtly placed product placement. So let's try it, see if that does make any difference. I think it's the way the stride, it just sits on top and it forces the strap to go down. It should make a slight bit of difference. Let's have a look. Yeah, it has made a bit of a difference, but nothing significant. And you know what, this is bloody hell. Yeah, I could never wear this, and this is what I think ultimately is a major letdown of the watch. Now, everything aside, I think I'm ready to summarize. I don't think I've missed anything. Let's look at it. I did say it's going to be a short review, so yeah, overview. The watch case is exceptional, one of Heimdallr's best watches. The crown, perfect. The shroud itself, perfect. The bezel, absolutely spot on. Anyone who does have one of these surely will agree. You've got great dial aesthetics, you've got great handsets used. Everything else is perfect, right? Good printing, but it's just here. Now, I also want you guys to let me know if it is wearable for anyone and what size your wrist is. I think this is wrist related. 6.5 inch wrist, honestly, that is, you know, I have to tighten it to a point where it is cutting off circulation on the wrist. It makes it totally unpractical, unwearable. The only other alternative I could think of would be those elasticated paratrooper style straps, which I also happen to sell. But I think, you know what, let's try it. So I think I have fixed it. Well, with the paratrooper style, the Marine National style strap, it definitely does sit down. But again, I think the watch is too bulky to be held down by such a thin piece of fabric. Now, because underneath the lug to lug is so short, yeah, the strap's way too big for my little wrists. So you can actually see the lug to lug is here. Actually, that'd be a good measurement to take. So the actual lug to lug is 37.7, which makes it probably, you know, without looking into it too deep, the world's smallest lug to lug. I really don't know how they wanted people to wear this watch. I mean, if you do have a gap underneath and it sits on this dive strap, surely you're going to catch it on stuff. So even as a dive purpose, you can't be swimming around catching corals and I don't know, whatever else you might have contact with. So yeah, to continue with the summary, I thought I could rescue it there. I'd say this is probably my first, this is probably the most useful and useless watch at the same time. But I'm really interested in hearing what you guys have to say in the comment section. If you have a bigger wrist and it suits you fine, then please let me know. I find it hard to see how it could fit, but if people enjoy wearing it the way it is, so be it. For me, it's definitely a no-go, but I am genuinely disappointed because this watch is that good. It's definitely a competitor in the top level AliExpress homages, because the finishing, the functionality is that on point, but it's just a shame about actually wearing it and how you can't really wear it. So okay, hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know your thoughts on the watch in the comment section below. Hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button as well. I'll see you on my next review. Thank you for watching.